Good afternoon. Welcome to Nationwide on the NTA. I am Ogochkuka Ona. The House of Representatives has passed a harmonized version of Electoral Bill 2026 to allow for electronic transmission of results from each polling unit to INEC's results viewing portal, IREV. The Electoral Bill 2026 has passed endorses the provision clause 60 of the bill that the Form EC8A shall be the primary source of collation and declaration of results if e-transmission fails due to internet challenges. The House also endorsed an amendment of Clause 28, which reduced deadline for INEC to issue notice of the general election to 300 days from an initial 360 days. The latest passage of the Electoral Bill to 2026 was, however, with rowdy session in the Green Chamber as most of the opposition lawmakers staged a walkout after motions to retain the initial versions of Clause 60 as well as Clause 84 dealing with mode of primary elections were rejected in a voice vote. And still from the National Assembly, Senate rescinds its decision on the Electoral Act 2022 Repeal and Enactment Bill 2026 to enable INEC adjust timeline for the 2027 general elections. The Senate and House of Representatives had considered and passed the Electoral Act 2022 Repeal and Enactment Bill 2026. Less than 2 weeks after, the Senate has rescinded its decision arising from what it described as coincidence of the 2027 election timetable with the holy month of Ramadan. The Senate observed that upon critical review, it indicates that the 360 days notice requirement prescribed in Clause 28 might lead to rescheduling of the presidential and National Assembly elections.
Within the Muslim communities had reached out to INEC to say that the proposed date of February 2027, during which time they had fixed the presidential and National Assembly elections, general elections, would conflict with the Ramadan exercise for 2027. And of course, the leadership of the National Assembly agreed with INEC that where it is possible for INEC to review its timetable to be able to hold these general elections without creating any conflict as envisaged, INEC could go ahead, and so reschedule.
And in other matters now, President Bola Tinubu has unveiled the Nigeria Industrial Policy 2025 to 2035, a 10-year roadmap to transform Nigeria from potential to production. Benny Adams reports that the president, represented by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, called for sustained collaboration between the public and private sectors to ensure successive timelines to seek to achieve a $1 trillion economy through industrialization.
Nigeria has long been described as a giant of potential. But for those whom have lost jobs as a result of factory closures, potential does not pay the bills. Today, the federal government says the era of paper promises is over.
A phenomenal rise in the value of stocks. Why? It's a reflection of the health of the Nigerian economy.
Away from the stocks, Vice President Kashim Shettima says this policy document brings alive energy, trade, infrastructure, finance, skills and innovation, which requires partnerships.
This means committing not only to policy stability and coherence, but also to transparent engagement with industry. It means committing to measurable targets and accountability, and to a relentless focus on results. And results truly count. In the year 2025, the Dangote Industries, the cement sector alone, paid us 900 billion naira in taxes.
Minister of State Industry, John Owen Eno, says the goal is a $1 trillion economy and the method is moving from consumption to production, from raw materials export to value addition.
To support this, the Bank of Industry and the Bank of Agriculture We'll have to expand financing to processors and to manufacturers.
All the policies that you've actually done great. The only one thing that now, which the government must emphasize, is to protect the local industries.
They all agree that in 10 years, the target is a massive 25% year-on-year growth of the industrial sector, and its success will depend not on the applause in the room, but by the industries that will be reopened and the new ones built. In Abuja, Benue Adams, NTA News.
For years, the journey to the cloud heights of the Mambila Plateau in Taraba State has been unpredictable. Commuters have long battled with disappointments and delays that turned a 5-hour trip into a day-long ordeal, stifling the movement of tea, cattle, and people. But a new chapter is being written with the federal government intensifying the reconstruction of the Bali-Serti-Gembi artery and the construction of Gembi-Mbanga-Yang Road. Usman Zubeiru has more.
The struggles by Sir Ahmadu Bello, the Sardauna of Sokoto, to ensure the Mambila Plateau remain a part of Nigeria has since suffered infrastructure decay. The federal government is responding with a multi-billion naira commitment with the reconstruction of approximately 235-kilometer long Bali-Serti-Gembo route. Work on the economic corridor include retaining walls, crash barrier, and slope protection measures to mitigate landslide.
We are going to concentrate on the carriageway. As you can see, some of the section of the road is littered with potholes.
After waiting for 65 years, work has commenced on the Gembu-Banga-Yang Road, a strategic route that terminates at the Cameroon border, designed to boost cross-border trade and local farming.
But now, you can even pay 2,000 naira to go to Mbanga. So I'm very happy.
Contract that the roads should be fixed. We want to say thank you.
Without these roads, the 3,000 megawatt Mambila hydroelectric project remains a dream, and the famous Highland tea will struggle to reach global markets.
The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as a savior, because he has never come here, he has never seen this place, but when a request was presented, he approved it.
The Bandua of Ibanga expressed gratitude to the President Tinubu for approving the project, noting that the decision has fulfilled expectation that lingered for over 6 decades.
That throughout Northeast, we have not seen the standard work like this.
As the federal government fulfills this legacy of Sardauna of Sokoto, the Mambila Plateau prepared to finally share its reach with the nation. From Gembu, Osmansville, NTA News.
Residents of Rivers State are expressing satisfaction over the recent announcement by the state government to deliver the Port Harcourt Ring Road project, which was earlier stalled due to political instability before the end of this year. Some of them who spoke with Robinson Deretede described the project as a springboard for economic growth and development.
The Port Harcourt Ring Road project begins from the Abonima Wharf in Port Harcourt, traversing 5 local government areas with 5 flyovers.
This is a river crossing bridge, one of the bridges in the Port Harcourt Ring Road projects that will connect Iwofe and Igu Island within the Port Harcourt metropolis. The project is about 50.15 kilometers and it will cut across 5 local government areas.
It's a flagship project of the River State government aimed at decongesting traffic in Port Harcourt and enhancing movement of goods and services from rural areas to the cities, especially Port Harcourt.
If you are a producer right at the rural area, you'll be able to bring your product to the city.
If they can actually actualize that road, it's a dream come true.
The Port Harcourt Ring Road project was awarded in July 2023 at the cost of 195 billion naira. It is unclear if there are variation claims over the delay within this period.
I strongly believe that this promise that we made to our people will deliver it by October, God willing.
The completion of this project will no doubt ease traffic congestion within the capital city. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Deratede, NTA News.
All right, still staying in Port Harcourt, let's now join Kingsley Amajiri for more details on this. So Kingsley, can you tell us what actually makes these projects a lifeline for the people of Rivers State?
Good evening and welcome to Port Harcourt. The Ring Road remains a significant and landmark project embarked upon by the Governor Siminalayi Fubara's administration, given its critical connection of communities in Rivers State, 6 local government areas, so to speak, and it cuts across about 50.15 kilometers of road network. You know what that means to the people of Rivers State, connecting communities that were hitherto separated by landmass. This project remains significant in terms of commerce, transportation, value creation in terms of building development for people of Rivers State, especially these communities that are being opened up with this road network. When you come to Port Harcourt, you will see that this road is redefining the aesthetics of Port Harcourt, opening up communities that were hitherto not known. And for communities that this road is passing through, the values creation in terms of the rise in the value of land and also development of property remain a very key project, not just for the government, but for the people of Rivers State. The bottom line is that it will go a long way in addressing traffic issues. Many of these communities have already been linked by this road. The major area now that attention is shifting is 2 key bridges. The bridge from Okrika to Port Harcourt and the one from Hajj then to Iwofe axis. These are where attention now is concentrated. And the government has made a definite pronouncement on this road that it will fund this road adequately. And of course, expectations are high that when this road becomes fully completed, it will not only help in solving traffic issues, but also creating values for communities that were hitherto not known in terms of commercial activities and road network.
All right, very well. Kingsley, thank you so much for your contribution. I was going to ask you what the deliberate efforts are by the state government, but you just said it, connecting 6 communities, or did you say local government areas? That's a huge one. Thank you so much for your contribution. All right, let's now get more reports from our Lagos Network Center. And Hingino John Adams is our guide there. Yes, Hingino, you are on.
And welcome to Lagos. Nigeria's internal displacement crisis demands market-driven solutions, say experts who emphasize that transparency, accountability, and private sector investment are key in restoring livelihoods. Awal Yusuf Jibo reports that the 2-day summit in Lagos brought together government officials, development partners, and private sector leaders to explore sustainable solutions for displaced communities.
Nigeria faces one of Africa's largest internal displacement challenges driven by conflict, climate shocks, and other crises. Panelists emphasize the critical role of the private sector in creating jobs, boosting local economies, and integrating displaced populations into development plans. Vice President Kashim Shettima, represented, says Nigeria, with one of the highest number of displaced in Africa, must change the narrative.
We need to all work together in order to ensure that IDPs are well looked after, well taken care of, to prepare them for the future. They have a lot of talents, a lot of experience we could give, and I think it's important that we give them all the support.
United Nations resident and humanitarian coordinator in Nigeria, Mohammed Fall, noted that collaboration between government, development partners, and private sector actors is essential to build resilience and economic opportunities for displaced persons and host communities.
Across Nigeria, more than 3.7 million people live in internal displacement. It is not just a national challenge, but it is part of a global crisis.
Sessions explored investment opportunities in agriculture, energy, health and education infrastructure, highlighting innovative approaches to support displaced communities.
We'll look at capitalisation, we'll look at seed funding, equity, guarantees, facilitating deals. There's a whole range of instruments that the UK can offer.
The private sector must be a bit more bullish in demanding the frameworks that allow for resilience agendas to be investable.
Organizers say the discussions aim to build scalable models that strengthen self-reliance, resilience, and economic opportunities for displaced persons and host communities across Nigeria. Where displacement threatens, accountability and investment are building bridges to a brighter future. In Lagos, Awol Yusuf Jibo, NTA News.
Talking health now. For many Nigerians living with albinism, survival means constantly planning daily routines around shade, protective clothing, and the fear of skin damage. Now, there is renewed hope. The National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment has launched the Shade the Sun campaign, a targeted intervention designed to improve access to care and reduce the burden of skin cancer. Joy Ken Abakwea reports.
Under Nigeria's scorching sun, daily life can be challenging for people living with albinism. With little or no melanin in their skin, they face a high risk of skin cancer. Omobolaji Kalejaye, a survivor, shares her experience and precautions she takes to stay protected.
Once they notice any unusual wound on their skin that refuses to heal, the best thing is they should go and see the health specialist.
This free skin cancer screening for persons living with albinism, alongside a capacity building workshop for health workers tagged Shade the Sun, was organized by the National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment.
We have to just bring out this initiative to accommodate them according to what the federal government actually says.
And so what we're also doing here is also to train and build capacity for healthcare workers that work in the primary healthcare level.
Health experts say early detection remains the most effective defense against skin cancer.
They need to be protected. They need to be educated about their condition. They need to know what to do.
The whole idea is to increase awareness amongst even the healthcare workers.
For participants, increased government support to expand access to treatment is key.
We are free to come to this building for free skin check.
We've had about 50 cancer survivors. That's in Lagos. It's a Lagos State program. And we believe that we can do more.
Sun protection kits, including sunscreen and protective clothing, were also distributed to help reduce harmful exposure to ultraviolet rays. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakwea, NTA News.
That is it from Lagos. Salamatu in Kaduna will take the next set of reports after the break.
To Kaduna on Nationwide. The Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, has reaffirmed its commitment to discharging its core mandate and maintaining its leading role in the nation's media industry. The Zonal Director of NTA Kaduna Network Center, Aminu Ishaq Abbas, stated this when the management of Mariam Abacha University of Nigeria paid a courtesy visit on the NTA Kaduna Network Center. Kim Gott reports.
The visit of the management of Mariam Abacha American University to the Nigerian Television Authority Kaduna Network Center is to seek for collaboration in addressing youth unemployment and the great number of out-of-school children. The areas of partnership include training and empowerment programs.
The objective of this meeting is to collaboration between the Mount Group of the university and the NTA Kaduna, and we are very happy for the hospitality given by the chairman of the NTA Kaduna.
The management of NTA Kaduna Network Center assured of its support in areas of youth development and social inclusion.
This project needs each one of us to be part and parcel of this movement. I assure you, NTA Kaduna will align with this thing.
The collaboration is expected to create sustainable platforms for training and awareness. In Kaduna, Kim Godz, NTA News.
Away from NTA Kaduna's visit, the Nigerian Defense Academy has continued to distinguish itself as a world-class military institution, mentoring young leaders and reflecting in its dedication to the advancement of national capabilities for national security imperative. This was made known by the Chairman Board of Trustees Tertiary Education Board, Aminu Bello Masari, at the 23rd Professorial Inaugural Lecture Series of the Nigerian Defense Academy on robotics in the frontline and its implications for the armed forces of Nigeria. Haruna Mohammed tells us more.
As the fight against insecurity intensifies in various theaters, attention is increasingly turning to technology, particularly robotics, as a vital tool in frontline operations. This 23rd annual lecture of the Nigerian Defense Academy, titled Robotics in the Frontline, Implication of the Armed Forces in Nigeria, underscores the importance of how robotics in modern warfare and internal security operations is transforming the way threats are detected and neutralized. The Chairman Board of Trustees, Tertiary Education Board, Aminu Bello Masari, and Niger State Representative, aligns with the Commandant's Nigerian Defense Academy, emphasized robotics and advanced engineering systems are increasingly becoming force multipliers in intelligence gathering, surveillance logistics, and risk reduction for personnel in operational environments.
It reinforces the Academy's mandate as a military and degree-awarding institution committed to rigorous research, teaching, and community service.
The world is no longer what certificate you have, it's what your skills can do.
This is a great moment for not only scholarship, but military advancement.
Inaugural Professor Colonel Abubakar Surajo Imam noted that research and development within military institutions are critical in strengthening national defense capabilities and reducing dependence on foreign technologies.
Economy is not about replacing humans in the battle, but enabling humans to fight effectively.
As the Nigerian Defense Academy continues to blend academic excellence and military innovation, initiatives such as these reaffirms the commitment of the institution to leadership and national security. In Kaduna, I am Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
Haruna Mohammed's report completes our packet from here. Let's rejoin Ogol Chukuka in our Abuja studios for more reports.
Thank you very much, Salamatu. Now, Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris has condoled with the people of Yauri over a boat mishap that claimed 14 lives. The governor's condolence message was delivered by the chairman of Yauri local government area, Abubakar Shuaibu, who represented him at the funeral prayers of the deceased. Governor Idris urged the bereaved families to accept the will of Almighty God in good faith and prayed for the forgiveness of the victims' shortcomings. The local government chairman said the accident occurred at Gumbi village in Yauri after the victims had accompanied a bride to Gwazo village in Ngaski local government area. He explained that the boat capsized while conveying over 100 passengers back home, resulting in the death of 14 persons, including 13 women and a child. All the victims have since been buried according to Islamic rites. Governor Hyacinth Alia has expressed his deepest appreciation to President Bola Tinubu for what he terms the wonderful personnel and logistics support he is providing to the state. While welcoming a new set of security personnel deployed to the state, the governor expressed satisfaction with the level of support he is receiving from the president and charged the new personnel to put in their best to ensure that complete peace is restored in the state, especially considering its position as the food basket of the nation. In a statement, the technical advisor on media, publicity and strategic communication, Solomon Iope, Governor Alia said, also thanked the heads of security agencies in the state and called on them to continue their good work, citing the recent rescue of the Utonkon 9 children as an example. He tasked the operatives to ensure adequate security for the workers contracted to construct the Nyemba-Abande Road, which is meant to ease movement and reduce response time in instances of distress calls. He restated his commitments to good governance and encouraged all Benue sons and daughters to stand by him so that he could lead Benue out of the woods of underdevelopment. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has received continental recognition for her advocacy on girl-child education, maternal health and women's welfare. The honor was conferred by the Organization of African First Ladies for Development during its General Assembly in Addis Ababa, with the First Lady represented by the wife of the Vice President, Nana Shettima. We bring you details of these reports in subsequent bulletins. All right, I understand the report is ready. Let's take it.
Nigeria's First Lady was represented by the wife of the Vice President, Nana Shettima, got unanimous cheers of the Assembly in her efforts in combating maternal and child mortality, including care for the underage. The meeting highlighted the need for unity among African nations to address challenges facing women and children, especially in conflict areas across the continent. Speaking on the ideals of OFLAD, Dr. Fatima Bio emphasized the critical connection between sustainable development and peace, noting that rights cannot be fully realized in an unstable environment. Other First Ladies who spoke appealed to leaders on the continent to prioritize gender equality, women's economic empowerment, and education across African countries. Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Now, a fresh collaboration between the Office of Nigeria's First Lady and the Federal Ministry of Health is set to address child malnutrition in the country with a scheduled launch of the National Community Food Bank program. Nigeria's First Lady announced the launch of the program at the opening of the National Traditional and Religious Leaders Summit on Health 2026. We'll bring you the reports by the State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo in our subsequent bulletins. And now, to accelerate universal health coverage, the federal government is growing the compact of its health sector by involving traditional and religious leaders to strengthen community engagement. Health correspondent Sawal Khalil Ibrahim takes a closer look at the roles of these custodians of cultures and shapers of faith.
Across Nigeria's diverse communities, traditional rulers and faith leaders are more than ceremonial figures. They are moral anchors and trusted gatekeepers. So, it is said that the nation's target of achieving universal health coverage cannot be reached without their input.
Evidence has shown that when traditional and religious leaders are engaged meaningfully, service uptake increases, health outcomes improve, and trust, including accountability.
Utilize the strength in us for us to better the lot of our people.
We are unified by a common duty to safeguard the health and well-being of our people.
It is therefore the beginning of a new era as the federal government, through the Office of the First Lady and the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, is involving traditional and religious leaders as it recognizes their roles in mobilizing communities and influencing social norms.
So bringing the religious leaders and the traditional leaders together is going to form a great synergy to promote and improve primary health care in the various communities.
Because of the trust that is between them and the community, we expect that hesitance in terms of immunization, what have you, will go down, and we'll see an uptake of immunization and more of our children will survive.
Beyond the talk show, issues around maternal mortality, family nutrition, immunization are expected to resonate into action in the villages, cities, and worship centers. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
Our former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, who honored the invitation of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Monday, is still undergoing interrogation and investigation over alleged 432 billion naira fraud. Although he presented himself voluntarily, sources within the anti-graft agency disclosed that he was yet to be granted bail as interrogation continues this Tuesday. The probe is said to stem from a 2024 report by the Kaduna State House of Assembly, which alleged El-Rufai's administration between 2015 and 2023 allegedly diverted public funds through multiple state channels. A report says investigators are allegedly reviewing contracts and financial transactions executed during El-Rufai's 8-year tenure. In a related development, the Department of State Services, DSS, has filed a 3-count charge against El-Rufai at the Federal High Court in Abuja. The charge borders on alleged unlawful interception of telephone communications belonging to the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu. And still on judicial matters, the Supreme Court of Nigeria has upheld an appeal filed by one Joshua Ishaku Musa as a proper All Progressives Congress candidate at the coming Buhari Area Council election slated to hold on Saturday, February 21, 2026. The 5-man panel of justices in a 4-1 decision upheld the appellant's claims that the APC primary election panel did not afford him for fair hearing, submitting another aspirant's name to INEC after he, Ishaku, had won the party's primary. The Apex Court's findings concord with the dissenting judgment of the appeal court delivered by Justice Okon Abang on January 16, 2026, setting aside majority decision of Justices Hama Barker and Abba Bello Mohammed. Stakeholders have urged the newly inaugurated executives of the City Boy Movement, Borno State Chapter, to intensify youth enlightenment and mobilization efforts in support of the 2027 re-election bid of President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima. This was during the inauguration of the executives at the State Hotel, Maiduguri. Pauline Kujevana reports.
The inauguration ceremony was attended by representatives of Acting Governor Umar Usman Katafur.
Your work has to start now. Be ambassadors of unity. Translate policy to people.
APC leaders, government officials, youth groups and other stakeholders. Speakers, including party representatives and movement coordinators, commended the group's role in promoting the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, and emphasized that youth remains central to political participation and grassroots mobilization.
It's for the young people of Borno to get involved in politics, to get involved in governance, so that as the movement we can position a lot of youth for leadership position.
Office of the National Women Leader declare an additional 5 million votes from women to support the victory for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
I want to thank His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and His Excellency Vice President, as well as His Excellency Governor Zulum, for giving us the space.
They charged the new executive to strengthen coordination and expand outreach across communities to achieve the movement's objectives. The City Boy Movement, founded in 2022, is a youth-driven support group focused on mobilizing young Nigerians and women, promoting civic engagement and building nationwide support network, aligning with the administration's development agenda ahead of the 2027 general elections. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
And from Maiduguri, we head now to Enugu, where Chika Okorie will be having some reports for us this afternoon. Hello, Chika.
A warm welcome to Enugu Network Center. To achieve all-round development, the Enugu State Gender-Based Violence GBV Task Force team is committed to combating all forms of inequality and harmful practices against women and girls. This was disclosed at the launch of the State Action Plan on Prevention of Gender-Based Violence, organized by the Ministry of Children, Gender Affairs and Social Development in collaboration with UN Women.
Launch the Enugu State. The Enugu State Action Plan on Prevention of Gender-Based Violence, GBV, is derived from existing legal instruments in the state to sustain engagement with traditional and religious leaders on the prevention, protection, prosecution, and partnership, thereby enhancing coordination among stakeholders. Commissioner for Children, Gender Affairs and Social Development said the launch underscores government's resolve to end violence and harmful practices against women, girls, and other vulnerable groups.
I wish to express our profound appreciation to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Enugu State, whose visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to social justice continue to create an enabling environment for transformative reforms in our state.
The UN Women Representative in Nigeria, Ibrahim Nuruddin, described the 5-year plan as a clear roadmap to prevent GBV, uphold human dignity and equality.
I want to thank the Enugu State government, most sincerely, on behalf of UN Women, for the commitment that this state has continued and will continue to show to advancing the protection of rights and dignity of persons, especially women and girls.
Stakeholders also aligned with the zero-tolerance position on GBV.
Carry it to all the nooks and crannies of the various communities in Enugu.
Everyone gathered here is a contributor to this action plan.
If effectively implemented, this initiative could mark a major breakthrough towards preventing violence against women and girls in Enugu, Chika.
The Enugu state government has inaugurated a $20 million hire factory, an ICT assembling plant for the manufacture of health and educational technologies, as well as renewable energy solutions. Chika Ugu reports that the governor, Dr. Peter Mba, while inaugurating the factory, restated his administration's commitment to secure the future of the younger generation through technology and innovation.
Moreover, nations around the world are fast embracing the trend and becoming technologically savvy. The Enugu state government is poised to prosper the state, to grow the economy, create jobs, and equip youths through technology and innovation. This explains its partnership with a Chinese technology manufacturing company to create Enugu Hire Factory. The governor says the factory goes beyond supporting smart schools to providing life laboratory for skill development and improvement in vocational and technical knowledge, as well as stimulating SMEs.
We will continue to build a state where ideas are manufactured, skills are empowered, jobs are created, dreams are realized.
The factory is involved in manufacturing technologies such as health equipment, tricycles, smartphones, tablets, smart boards, Android TV, among other technical and vocational tools. This will place Enugu as an exporter of technology products and ensure that every child is well equipped with science and innovative skills.
Nigeria will now moving from just importing technology, consuming technology, to transferring technology, to adding value to technology. And that is what this factory stands for.
The Enugu state government is calling on investors to invest in the state as it is working assiduously to create a friendly and viable environment where businesses can thrive. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
And that's all we have for you from the cool city. After the break, the news continues from Makurdi.
In Makurdi, the Benue state government has given its assurance for the renovation and upgrading of the State Rehabilitation Center to improve the living conditions of children with special needs. The assurance is coming as Governor Hyacinth Alia, through his special advisor on women affairs and social welfare, visited the facility on an assessment tour. Ileas Itiab reports. Ileas Itiab reports. Ileas Itiab.
Tasked with the mandate of catering for the children with special needs, including providing psychosocial services. It is to improve the living conditions of the inmates that Governor Hyacinth earlier directed the Special Advisor on Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Scholastica Bemso, to visit and assess facilities at the center and provide a comprehensive report on the state of facilities and challenges confronting the center. Mrs. Bemso, upon carrying out the assessment, disclosed that though there have been appreciable improvements in the facilities since the inception of the present administration, the governor remains desirous of improving the overall well-being of the children, whom she described as a critical component of the society.
I've come to see so much that's been done in this place. His Excellency has always been in touch with this facility to make sure that the children that are special needs are well taken care of.
Executive Secretary of the facility, Alexander Bakindev, appreciated the numerous interventions of the present administration in reviving the center in the areas of potable water supply and other several infrastructural projects.
His courtesy of His Excellency, he has also given us funding which we renovated the classroom block here. It was severely dilapidated like the other girls' hostels, but it is now very clean.
He further disclosed that the center has also, under the permission of the governor, partnered with the Benue State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, and the World Bank to provide support services, including a mental health psychosocial center and skills acquisition centers in the facility. In Makudi, Elias Itiav, NTA News.
Governor Hyacinth earlier has tasked revenue-generating agencies and parastatals to block revenue leakages and evolve strategies to boost internally generated revenue. The governor emphasized this during a meeting with the Benue State Revenue Reconciliation Committee at the Government House, Makudi. Again, Elias Itiab reports.
The routine meeting of the Benue State Revenue Reconciliation Committee brings together directors, permanent secretaries, heads of ministries, departments and agencies, and key financial managers to review and brainstorm on ways of improving revenue generation in the state.
What is it that we are not doing well? We open up to ourselves, we reconcile such areas so that our performance for the year can improve.
Commissioner for Finance, Michael Ogleba, outlined the financial performance of the state in previous years and set the tone for the 2026 fiscal year. He urged all revenue-generating bodies to align with the provisions of the new tax law and work collectively to strengthen the state's financial status. Governor Hyacinth earlier in his address said he chose to engage the committee directly due to their pivotal roles as professionals entrusted with the financial fortune of the state. The governor warned that his administration would no longer tolerate revenue leakages, sharp practices, and unprofessional conduct within the revenue-generating institutions.
You are the think tank of revenue generation in the state. Why are you not thinking of something that can sustain? Why are you not thinking education fund, where your children will be supported to go higher in schools?
The governor tasked the committee to introduce innovative strategies aimed at scaling up revenue generation for optimal performance. In Makudi, Elias Itiav, NTA News.
And that does it from Makudi. It's back to Ogochukwuka in Abuja for the concluding part of Nationwide.
Thank you, Susan. As preparation for the 2026 Hajj continue, authorities in Kano State have intensified efforts to equip intending pilgrims with the knowledge and guidance needed for the sacred journey. It is a structured training program designed to ensure participants are fully prepared for a smooth, spiritually rewarding pilgrimage. Abdullahi Mustafa reports on this.
Hajj, one of the 5 pillars of Islam, is a unique act of worship that requires proper guidance to ensure its successful observance. This is largely because its rites are performed at a specific time and in designated holy sites in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. In Kano State, a weekly special induction training is being conducted at 10 centers across the state to adequately prepare intending pilgrims for the spiritual journey.
Especially to those that have never been to Hajj, especially for those that have certain deficiency in the rudiments of Hajj. Inshallah, I'm very, very happy.
With the month of Ramadan approaching, the physical training sessions will be temporarily suspended, but are scheduled to resume on a daily basis after the Eid al-Fitr celebrations. However, facilitators will continue to engage and enlighten prospective pilgrims through selected radio stations throughout the holy month. The Director General urged intending pilgrims to take full advantage of the training opportunity as preparations intensify for the smooth and successful conduct of the exercise. A total of 3,316 pilgrims from Kano State are expected to participate in the upcoming Hajj in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA.
The second annual review meeting brings together human rights defenders and the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities to assess progress on implementing the Disability Act. Hajj reports on this gathering.
The Disability Rights Advocacy Project for Inclusive Development is a 3-year project that targets over 1 million persons with disabilities and seeks to strengthen civil society organizations, improving livelihoods through entrepreneurship and creating awareness to support persons with disabilities.
Reflect on the plan we have already outlined and to review some of these plans and to track the progress on the implementation of the Disability Act.
We are also going to set the pace for another 6 months, make new commitments. So what the EU would like to see would be enhanced disability inclusion at federal and subnational levels. We would like to see further implementation of the disability inclusion law, and also we would also like to see improved capacity of stakeholders. And when I talk about stakeholders at the government level.
The meeting also highlights challenges such as inadequate support systems and policies, and emphasizes the need for data gathering and frameworks to support persons with disabilities. In Abuja, Gufan Hajj Ogwanyi, NTA News.
All right, the Minister of State for Works, Mohammed Bello Goronyo, has officially flagged off the distribution of cash and food items worth over 200 million naira to the people of Goronyo, local government area of Sokoto State. The intervention is aimed at supporting vulnerable households and easing economic pressures as Muslims prepare for the holy month of Ramadan. The support package comprised substantial cash donations and essential food items and clothing dispersed to local government and ward executives, social media groups, political groups, women groups, students, and the elderly in the community. Security agencies and institutions such as NOAA, Ministry of Justice, and INEC also benefited from the Ramadan intervention. The minister expressed profound appreciation to the president for his bold economic reforms and infrastructural drive across the country, strengthened governance, which are laying the foundation for sustainable national development. All right, let's take a little bit of sports stories.
Team Nigeria emerged the third best overall in the world after putting up brilliant performances, winning 6 gold medals at the 2026 WPC Powerlifting Championship in Egypt. Of particular note is Kennedy Nwankpa, who won 3 gold medals in different events and set a new world record. Egypt finished atop the overall country rankings, leaving Iraq in the second place.
We have over more than 3 million lifters in Nigeria that's into powerlifting, but they need to be showcased to the world. Like I went to Egypt with 4 lifters. My dream is to go to the Egypt with 100 lifters in different classes so that we can take first position in the world.
In another news, Nigeria's para-badminton star Eniola Bolaji has climbed to world number 1 in the women's SL3 category in the latest rankings released Tuesday by the Badminton World Federation. Bolaji ascended to the top of the world rankings following her impressive silver medal finish at the 2026 World Para Badminton Championship in Bahrain. In football, CAF Champions League quarterfinal draws indicate that RS Bakini will trade tackles with Al Hilal, while Esperance will face Al Ali, among other matches. From the Champions League, playoff matches begin Tuesday night, with some of Europe's biggest teams facing a crunch two-leg knockout series. Manager Jose Mourinho is leading Benfica against his former club, Real Madrid. Earlier, Benfica defeated Real Madrid 4-2 to stay in contention and deny the opponents automatic entry to the next round. AS Monaco takes on PSG, among other matches. With sports update, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
And that's Nationwide today. Many thanks for joining us. Do have a blessed evening.